Those who pray, Surah Al-Ma'un 4-7, a Rahmani merciful interpretation in the light of Maulana Thaqib Kabuli's thought. Introduction. In the Quran, Salah, prayer, is not merely an individual act of worship. It is a living and self-regulating system that harmonizes the relationship between God, human beings, and society. In Surah Al-Ma'un, the word for waylun, woe, is not a cry of wrath but an expression of mercy and awakening. A compassionate warning from God to prevent humankind from falling into social hypocrisy and justice-less worship. The late Maulana Thaqib explained in his enduring treatise, Ikamat al-Salah, the self-operating system of prayer, that prayer is an auto-generated system emerging from the people themselves, founded on remembrance of God, equality, and resistance to oppression. 1. The merciful meaning of Fawailun lil Musallin, Al-Ma'un 4-7. A. The message of the surah, open quote, "Have you seen the one who denies the judgment? That is the one who repulses the orphan and does not urge the feeding of the poor. So woe to those who pray." Close quote. True faith in the Quran is inseparable from justice and kindness. The one who ignores the orphan and neglects the poor has in practice denied the religion itself. Therefore, the warning woe is aimed not at those who abandon prayer, but at those who pray without justice. B. Woe, a cry of awakening. Here, Fawailun is not a curse but a merciful alarm. God does not say a painful punishment, rather he calls lovingly, open quote, "Woe to you, O servant, awaken, you have strayed from the path." This woe is the voice of compassion like a mother's anguished cry when her child walks toward danger, close quote. No, see, mercy within warning, open quote, "You are only a warner." 7. We sent you not, but as a mercy to all beings. 2107, close quote. The Prophet's mission was to warn through compassion. Therefore, Fawailun lil Musallin is likewise a form of divine mercy, a warning born of love to recall humanity from hypocrisy and heedlessness. 2. Ikamat al-Salah, the self-regulating divine system. The Quran commands, open quote, "establish the prayer," close quote. To establish, ikama, means to set upright a living, organized and social structure, just as the Quran also says establish justice, kimokist. In Kabuli's vision, Ikamat al-Salah means establishing a divine system of lordship, Nizam Rububi, a system that rises from the people, operates through them, and belongs to all equally. 3. The 4 levels of the system of prayer: level, function, message, individual, remembrance and submission to God. Inner purification and self-discipline, congregational, daily, equal rows of rich and poor, social justice and solidarity, Friday, national, uniting communities for public accountability, national cohesion and moral governance, Hajj, universal, global uprising against tyranny, unity of the worldwide community. In this structure, prayer becomes the engine of remembrance and justice, a living motor of divine order. 4. Prayer as a political and educational system. Maulana Thaqib wrote, open quote, "When the worshipper enters the mosque, he enters as a soldier into the field of order and as a seeker of justice into the court of truth, so that rights may return to their owners." Close quote. Thus, prayer is not only worship but training in discipline, equity and resistance to injustice. Ikamat al-Salah forms the foundation of people-centered moral governance, neither royal despotism nor deceptive electoral politics. 5. The mystical dimension of prayer. Ultimately, prayer is the union of lover and beloved, immersion in remembrance and annihilation in the Lord. Open quote, "Prayer is the ascension of the believer." Close quote. In prostration, the servant unites with dust so that he may rise with God. Open quote, "Subhana Rabbi al-Ala, all praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds." Close quote. 6. The link between woe and establishing prayer. The warning woe targets those who have emptied prayer of its essence, those who retain its form but remove justice and equality. The Quran lists 3 signs of this degeneration. 1. Repelling the orphan, cruelty toward the powerless. 2. Neglecting the poor, abandonment of social responsibility. 3. Withholding ma'un, blocking the circulation of goodness and resources. Therefore, woe is a reviving mercy, a call to rebuild prayer as a system of justice, kindness, and cooperation. 7. Final synthesis. Open quote, "Ikamat al-Salah equals establishing the divine system of justice, remembrance, and equality. Close quote. Such a system is not a royal tyranny, not a deceptive democracy, but a divine order from the people, for the people, in the remembrance of God. Conceptual summary, dimension message. Moral, mercy expressed through warning. Social, justice and equality through congregation. Educational, spiritual discipline replacing egoism. Mystical, union of servant and Lord. Political, governance of the faithful over themselves. Global, the community's stand against worldwide oppression. Poem by Maulana Thaqib, The Fruit of Congregational Prayer. This prayer makes the self-willed humble and meek, equal at every door, rich and weak. It gathers the scattered hearts in one line, binding each mind to a single design. One gaze, one motion, one shared breath. It teaches order to souls once bereft. Together they rise against the tyrant's might, to tear down the masters, restore the right. No lord of slaves will seize their share, for labour's hand gains its rightful care. Men and women stand, ranks aligned, striking awe in the heart of the unkind. The oppressor bows, his power breaks, their hummed on lips, their hearts awake. Thus prayer's uprising, Thaqib declares, topples the palaces of crowns and heirs. Concluding supplication, Allahumma ij'alna min al-muqimin as-salah, Allah, make us among those who establish the prayer, whose hearts are humble in your remembrance, and not among the heedless who forget your justice and mercy. Grant us prayer that becomes a living system of remembrance, kindness, and righteous action. Keep us forever standing in the ranks of your justice. Open quote. Glory be to your Lord, the Lord of might, above all they describe. Peace be upon the messengers, and praise be to Allah, Lord of all worlds. Close quote.